So last time we discussed in the Pfizer inquiry, you admitted that the myocarditis as a result of was an autoimmune response to the vaccine. Given that that was an autoimmune response, the vaccine produced an autoimmune response to the heart, how do you know that it didn't produce an autoimmune response to other organs in the body, given that the non-clinical report showed that lipids went into most organs in the body?
Thank you for the question, Senator. And as you highlighted at the inquiry, we did have that discussion, and Dr. Pengilly, my colleague, did highlight that the inflammatory conditions that you've highlighted, myocarditis and pericarditis, have been found in post-vaccination populations and also in those within COVID. To respond to your question, I'm going to call on Ms. Elspeth Case, the Assistant Secretary for the Pharmacovigilance Branch within the TGA.
Thank you, Senator. The TGA conducts pharmacovigilance for COVID-19 vaccines. We have a robust and rigorous pharmacovigilance system that takes a whole-of-evidence approach. It looks at evidence from a range of different sources, not only the adverse event reports that we receive, but also information published in the medical literature, as well as information from other regulators and academic reports. That monitoring has not found an association between COVID vaccination and other autoimmune diseases.
So then how do you explain the enormous increase in adverse events across a wide range of adverse events as per the Western Australian vaccine report that showed a 24 times higher per dose, and given that we're taking 2 doses at least, so a 50 times higher rate of injury in the COVID vaccine? Because you didn't pick that up either at first, and you didn't pick up the myocarditis either, I should add, at first either. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you for your question, Senator. In regard to the Western Australian report, the WAVES surveillance report for 2021, as we said in one of our responses to a question on notice, the difference in the reporting rates for non-COVID vaccines and COVID vaccines comes down to a methodological difference in the way that those data were treated in the report. The COVID vaccine adverse event reports include reports that were picked up in active surveillance that ended in a presentation to hospital, whereas the reports for non-COVID vaccines did not include or included all of the data. So there's a disproportionate representation of serious adverse events in the data.
Because they went to hospital.
Because of a methodological difference. So it's not accurate to say that 48% of people who received a COVID vaccine attended hospital because of that methodological difference. Furthermore, the active surveillance doesn't ask people the reason that they attended hospital. So it may be that they attended hospital for something related to their COVID vaccination or for something that was unrelated to their COVID vaccination, but the report does not show that.
Thank you. So, if I may, sorry, Chair, Senator, we discussed this at length in August and highlighted a number of flaws methodologically with that study, not flaws in terms of its design, but what was able to be taken from it. And in fact, I do recall and have looked at the transcript when discussing the fact that there is a greater level of scrutiny on COVID, there will be greater reports. There was no record of why people presented to the emergency department. At that stage, from the transcript, you yourself indicated that that was a fault in the reporting system. But there is I think, a potentially troublesome conclusion being drawn that because of these numbers, there is an inherently greater risk in COVID vaccination than other COVID vaccinations.
Well, empirical data.
Because that's not empirical data.
It is.
That conclusion cannot be safely drawn.
Authorised G. Rennick, LNP Chermside.